Who got the tribe? It's
Hello,
alive,
we are
y'all.
live on the air. October patron hangout. iFanboy. It's Josh and I. How are you?
Hello, Connor or people. I thought this one would never happen. That's not true. I actually thought that we had done this one, and then I realized we hadn't.
Right.
Well, that's sorted out. And I was like, no, we sorted that out at the end of September.
We did. Oh, I was gonna. You vamp for a second. I was gonna get something.
Oh,
Show and
well,
tell
that's a
item.
thing that I love to do.
Hold on.
Who would like to talk about the weather? Or perhaps what sort of traffic you encountered or the route that you took to get to the place that you're going? Because that's what people are supposed to talk about when they don't have things to talk about. I know that today I took the stairs down to the basement and I sat down, and that
There
was
we
my
go.
route today. There was no traffic.
You're talking about traffic.
I am. I'm using low level small talk.
I see.
I
So
was gonna move to the weather.
you haven't talked to. Well, you have the Red Sox right now. That's like your go-to small talk, right? How about the Sox?
Actual question: is the World Series going on?
It starts tomorrow.
And the Red Sox are in it.
Yes, they're heavily favored.
Huh. Who is the other team?
Dodgers.
Wow, that's a whole Boston versus LA thing.
Yeah, it's actually Fox's wet dream because it looked like for a while it was going to be Houston versus Milwaukee, and no one was going to watch it. But so now
no one wants that.
Anyway, where were we? Oh,
I am willing, by the way, to discuss chili at a later point in the program. I have no problem with that.
Why don't we start, Josh, by announcing that we have a Booksplode book for the next Booksplode, which is going to be not this month because you have a Talksplode.
Yes.
But next month. So what is the month after October? November. Oh, it's all going fast. It's a downhill trip. So the November Booksplode is going to be this. My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. They dropped.
That's a follow-up to All My Exes Live in Texas.
Right.
I believe.
And so they dropped an OGN on us. And so we're going to do that. It's going to be an interesting discussion. We're taking a brief detour from our nostalgia trip, which we will be returning to in January.
We are absolutely going to return to the nostalgia trip. No question whatsoever.
Have you made any headway on your Talksplode?
I'm recording it Wednesday night.
Okay.
Do
you have a backup?
No, but I think it'll be fine. Basically, the guest was like, I'm home every night. I was like, okay, cool. That's not a problem for me.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes. I don't like to, I'm not being coy with people. I just, I have a rule that until it's recorded, I don't say who it is because, I mean, the list of people who I've lost and when I thought it was a done deal is insane.
No, Paul and I mentioned that on the show. We were not going to say who it was because it's a jinx. You don't want to jinx it.
Nope, but I'm really looking forward to it because it's a different type of comic book person, I think, than I normally get. Not just
is it
physically.
Bill Watterson?
It's Bill Watterson. He's finally coming out of Hermitage. Is that how you pronounce that? Hermitage?
Hermitage. That could be right.
Yeah. He's going to give it up to me. Bill Watterson has been a fan of our show for years. I got him on the phone and he was like, bad roommate Black Panther. I was like, man, you've been around for a while. But he's like, I love your early shit. How's that TIE fighter doing? Boom.
So I have a question for you, since you were not on the show, Josh, this week.
That's true. I wasn't.
A couple things from that show. One, I had Paul Montgomery on as a guest, and he said he's always bummed whenever you ask him to guest host because you give him like 12 hours notice.
That's correct.
So he says you need to give him more notice, and he will happily do your show.
Listen, he's not wrong. I'm not doing it on purpose. My life is like I want you to imagine a man on the face of a huge rock, and getting to the next thing is like, what am I going to do? And then your rock starts to crumble, so you have to quickly reach and hope that one will hold you. That's what my life and the scheduling thereof is.
Yeah, but you normally we're pretty well ahead of time when I'm not going to be on the show. You can
I know, but it's not an emergency until it's too late.
I'm trying to find this book that I want to ask you about. Here we go. So this
I haven't finished reading everything, so I didn't read it yet, but I was planning to.
This is the patron pick. Did you read Lucifer?
No, I just said I haven't read it yet.
But you have it downloaded.
Yeah. I'm slowly going through my books, but what I understood.
But do you plan to read it?
Yeah, I do.
Look at the great. That's a great job cover.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. What were your numbers?
What were your thoughts on it?
Ratings. I don't want your thoughts. I want.
Mine was. Well, Paul's was like 2.25 or something like that.
It's not good.
And mine was 1.9.
1.9. So I'm in for it then.
This was the worst one we've ever had to do for Patreon.
1.9 is the worst we've ever had to do. What about that one with the meat?
That was pretty bad.
That was worse.
I'm very curious because as you are a old school Lucifer fan, one of your favorite all time. Is this one of your favorite all time books?
I mean, I don't know. I really, really enjoyed it at the time. It was one of my favorite series as it was coming up. I can't say I thought about it a lot after that, but that Mike Carey run was excellent. And it was sort of that one of those just great, 60-ish issue, all-encompassing sort of one big story things. And I think there was a little return to it relatively recently, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. There was. I thought this was the first. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Lucifer.
No, there was another.
Like
relatively recently, in the past couple of years. I think it was to coincide with the TV show, but it was only very.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
But it was the old series, but it was only very, very slightly connected to the TV show. Other than that, it was good. I forget who did it. Who does this? Who's the person responsible?
Did not know.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed about the new Vertigo.
I've got a recommendation for you.
Okay.
This one.
Oh yeah, I actually downloaded that too, I think.
Sure. It's very good. It's unexpected. I did not expect to enjoy as much as I did, but it's very good. Vertigo, that's its thing, right? It's new creators usually.
Yeah, but the
newish, not mainstream, like not household name creators. Garth Ennis wasn't a household name when he did.
No, but I mean,
Hellblazer.
He had a track behind him. I mean, like he'd done 2000 AD and stuff like that.
25 when he started.
No, not even. He was like 23, and he'd been doing Hellblazer before that. He was a child, which hurts.
I feel like I walked in on a weird conversation.
Hey! How's the pasta?
Josh had that tone like he was talking about like his cousin or something. He was 23 and he didn't know what he was doing. He was a child.
Talking about Garth Ennis. I know,
I figured. So
we were talking about
that when you hear me say somebody's 23, you go, that's probably Garth Ennis when he started preaching. Like in your mind, you fill it in that way. You know that today is the 2nd anniversary of Steve Dillon's death.
Oh, that's sad.
Sorry.
That's sad.
Oh.
Happy anniversary, Ron and Steve Dillon, for very different reasons.
Steve Dillon, he was one of the greats.
Yes. Although, such a horrendous sort of cautionary tale for the sort of the worst of how you can treat yourself as a comic book artist.
Yeah.
Like that, if you let that life get you. But maybe he would have done that anyway.
Did you have you reminisced about Steve Dillon since I've been gone? I literally just by the way. I just like this. Can we just take a moment and appreciate Josh's shot that he's?
No, we talked.
Okay,
that was off camera.
Okay,
he did some production design while you were.
Production design. I mean, it's very much got the Jaws, you got the Who. Josh is in the left third of the screen.
Yeah, I can't. There's a pillar right here, so I have this bit of a practical problem.
No, it's good.
Did you all talk about the time that Steve Dillon was at San Diego and was doing Bic pen sketches in between cigarettes?
We literally just said the name Steve Dillon and you came on.
So anybody who's in the chat room or is here or whatever, if you've ever been to San Diego Comic-Con or any Comic-Con in the last 10 years, you know how crazy it is, right? This was 2001 and Steve Dillon was taking smoke breaks during his signings at the DC booth. He would sketch for about 5 or 10 people and then get up and leave the booth, go outside the convention center, have a cigarette, then come back and continue sketching. Connor, could you do that today in San Diego?
No, you'd be gone for 45 minutes just trying to get out.
Yeah. So
each way.
Yeah.
I remember that because you got a soap.
It is
right.
You
got
detective soap.
Yep. But
I got Cassidy, and I don't even know where that sketchbook is.
Was Steve Dillon the Lemmy of comic book illustrators?
He might have been.
You could see him sitting at the edge of that bar next to Lemmy with his rum and coke.
Yeah,
just playing slots, video slots, or whatever it was that Lemmy would play.
I could absolutely see that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lemmy. Oh, I miss Lemmy.
I miss Lemmy and Steve Dillon.
Yeah. Lemmy and Steve Dillon should have collaborated. Maybe they're collaborating in the sky.
In what way?
I don't know.
Hold on, now you could do an album cover.
Yeah. Oh, Steve Dillon.
So Ron, we're at. Oh, you go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was gonna fill time, so you have a thing to say.
Ron, it's TV premiere month.
Yes, it is.
Have you stuck with all your CW shows and?
Yes, I'm current on both Arrow and The Flash.
Legends is tonight. Legends is
tonight. Yes, I'm very excited for Legends. I'm sure my lovely wife will be excited for Legends. Of all those shows, is the show that she, I wouldn't say look forward to, but doesn't leave the room when I watch.
So it's not as bad as a fart.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
exactly. Wait, Carrie, you like Legends, right? Yeah, because it's time travel. We like time travel.
So I want to show you
what. Plus, Tom Cavanaugh's The Flash. Oh. Legends is the wacky time travel one. You like The Flash because of Tom Cavanaugh, who hasn't been on yet this season. But
he's only been on flashbacks. He's on flashbacks.
He's in the opening credits, which assume he's going to come back.
So, Ron, did you see today the photos on social media from the crossover filming?
I did.
Did you see the special one?
Which one?
With
with John Wesley Shipp
here.
Who's that?
John Wesley Shipp in the Flash. John Wesley Shipp in the old Flash suit.
Awesome. That's great. I didn't see that.
There's definitely a girdle involved there.
Oh, John Wesley.
No, he's still ripped.
And
listen,
his Brubaker teeth.
He's middle-aged.
Is that the first time that's gone public?
No, I'm sure.
So I guess I'm still watching all of them.
This is
Supergirl had a stronger opening than any. I didn't think Supergirl was good last season, but it had a strong open. I never got into Supergirl. I never watched any Black Lightning last season. By the way, like some of them they either take or they don't take. I will say
Black Lightning played by the guy who married Jeannie Boulet.
Is it by Al Boulet?
No. Al Boulet took off. He went to New Orleans, and then
he went to Atlanta. He went to Atlanta because
that's right. You're right. That's right. Don't talk. And then the cop was the guy who kept coming there, and he kept trying to date her, and she was like,
"That sounds right."
Yeah,
that sounds right. He was also in Friday Night Lights. He was Michael B. Jordan's father. Also,
that's definitely
that
him.
guy.
He was in Friday Night Lights. Yeah,
and he's Black Lightning. That guy has not aged in 20 years.
Yeah.
No.
Good for him.
I watch it, but like I have it on while I do other things.
That's
like the Flash. I'm on it.
You're on it. You're in it.
Arrow. I'm wondering like how much longer this goes.
I gotta admit, I was excited to watch the Arrow premiere. I watched it last night, and I don't know, man. I don't know. They brought a new showrunner in.
How long has that show been on?
It's been like
season 5 or 6.
And the showrunner before was Andrew Kreisberg, or
no, he had moved to Flash.
Okay, is he the one who's like the mogul of everything now?
No, that's
Berlanti.
Right. Okay.
The Berlanti.
He wrote the Green Lantern movie.
Did
he? Did he direct the Green Lantern?
Berlanti. Berlanti wrote the Green Lantern movie, and Andrew Campbell, Matthew Campbell, the guy who did Goldeneye, directed Green Lantern.
Not Matthew. Martin Campbell.
But something Campbell. Martin Campbell.
Martin Freeman.
That I know. Freeman, the guy who directed Goldeneye. I'm like, I got that one.
Martin Short directed it.
My wife just left.
So,
do you blame her?
This has got to be the last season of Arrow, right?
I mean, if people are watching, why end it?
Is he still stuck on the island?
No, he's
no. But now there's a flash forward,
right, to the future where he's dead.
There's a flash forward where he's dead, and Speedy lives on the island, and his son goes looking for him.
his son, who is not Connor Hawk, but named like Jonathan or something.
No, his name is
Jonathan.
Mona. Oh, what is his name? What is the kid's name?
It's not
Jonathan.
Is on the island. It's. I really like him a lot, but man, that show has no direction.
William,
that's the problem.
Which is ironic since it's about an arrow.
William Clayton.
William Edward. It was really nothing. I've been listening to Smiths a lot lately, Ron.
The Smiths came on at dinner tonight. It was lovely.
That is nice. I'm on a real trying to understand Johnny Marr kick.
He's a are you on electronic yet or no?
No. I'm very early. It's just that because he's touring, he's been popping up and stuff. Yeah. And so I read an interview with him and I was like, he seems like a great guy.
He does. He really does.
I mean, other than the fact that he needs to move on from that haircut.
Way
more than Morrissey does.
Yeah, no. Morrissey has aged into the haircut. Johnny Marr, the current Johnny Marr haircut, it's him and Paul Weller suffer from the same thing, where as they've gotten older, they've chosen poorly with the hairstyles.
Yeah. He just had cut his hair short, he could roll. Also, is he a wee man?
No,
he's got a Jaguar in front of him and he looks gigantic.
Yeah, no, he is smaller than the average bear. I will say that longtime iFanbase member Dave Carr, good friend of ours for years, right? He saw him the other night in Buffalo, and said that he played Big Mouth last night. There's a Light and How Soon Is Now and Headmaster, and you just haven't earned it yet. So that's
I think he plays How Soon Is Now regularly.
Yeah, well, and he
sings
it, which is great. He has as much right to do it as possible. But Absolutely. So there's 6 or 7 Smith songs, and he did 2 electronic songs. But then Dave summed up how I feel about Johnny Marr. When Johnny Marr started touring again and playing all these records, I saw him 2 or 3 times in San Francisco. I bought the solo records, but Dave said the stuff from his solo album sounds a lot better live, but none of it ever really lands as memorable, which is
that's right.
Yeah, totally forgettable songs. But
I listened to him oh, that's not bad. Yeah. But I would never think about it again.
Yeah, but he's an amazing guitarist and he's an amazing songwriter
and unique and
Yeah. Connor's just reading a book now.
This is what you get for talking about the CW shows. I'm basically off TV completely.
I can talk about Titans briefly if you want.
I think I want to hear about Titans. I've been waiting, and I know the viewing audience does as well.
They're not viewing audience.
Well, they're viewing now.
They're viewing right now.
It's true.
Yeah,
they are viewers.
So we're 2 episodes in. They're doing the thing where they release an episode every week, which is good because I don't know when the fuck I'm going to watch Daredevil season 3, no matter how good the reviews are.
Yeah.
But the first episode was a little choppy because they had a Robin storyline, a Starfire storyline, and a Raven storyline. But the second episode, which was much more focused and it was all Robin, was much better. I liked the first episode. I really like the second episode.
Does Robin have tiny baby hands in this one too? Or is that just a Teen Titans Go joke?
In
the movie, they make this joke about him having baby hands and they bring it up over and over and over again and it keeps getting funnier. This is how I can contribute to this conversation.
You saw it twice in the theaters?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I like to go to the movies and that one day I had my 4-year-old with me and I was we'd run out of stuff and I was like, you want to go see Teen Titans again? He was like, okay. I was like, whew, rest of the day sorted. I also know all the songs.
So the second episode was Robin going to Hawk and Dove and looking for help. Hawk being played by the guy Ron from Smallville who played Aquaman, and Dove being played by Lila Garrity. Josh.
We are midway through season 2. Lindsay and I are watching it again.
Friday Night Lights?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Lila Garrity, her character, I'm sorry, I'm going. Her character comes into its own when she becomes a born-again Christian. And all of a sudden she becomes interesting. Before that, she's not interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, I do not believe that beautiful human is in any way related to Buddy Garrity or the actor who plays him. Because there's nothing.
I don't know. There's a lot of that in Texas. So yeah, so I mean, the show, if you toned down the violence and got rid of the language, would probably fit right in the CW. But I think, it's still fun.
Do you find the language to be distracting? Because to me, it feels like
Not really.
No, it'd be like
it's no different than Netflix shows. I mean, it's not like they're cursing every 5
All right.
minutes. There's like two curses an episode.
I don't know. It just seems more out of place. Go ahead.
Here's my question, though. I'm sorry, but so Connor, as a DC person,
Yeah,
does it feel? And you know what I mean by this. Does it feel right?
sure.
Okay, so like, does it feel more right than the Berlantiverse, or less? Right?
No, it's the same amount of different.
Does it seem as DC as Netflix feels Marvel?
Well, this is important to note that Berlanti is one of the producers on Titans, so it has a very similar feel.
And he's writing Doom Patrol right now, which, by the way, I'm actually what's the right? I don't want to say DC curious, but
yeah, you're DC curious.
I'm DC curious. The guy who was in The Last Tycoon, which was one of my favorite shows last year on Amazon, is on
Matt Bomer.
I just like how you enunciated Tycoon.
Last Tycoon. I love that show. Was great.
Matt Bomer, he's great. I mean, Doom Patrol's getting a really nice Timothy Dalton and Brendan Fraser. It's a really good cast they've got for Doom Patrol. They're doing 8 episodes, I think, from Titans, something like that, and then they're out.
I don't want to call attention to it, but I like when you adjust the glasses. It's like Connor's.
Well, we missed a discussion before the show about how this arm is.
He's all smooth, Connor. Or Ron.
Yeah.
There's no traction of the face.
Is that arm getting loose because you're using the glasses as a punctuation to go? How dare you?
Actually, you know what? That is a rookie move. If you're taking off with one hand, that's going to loosen them up.
Yeah, you got to do this.
Or you go with a bridge.
No, but that's the Nathan Johnson. That's
that's what it was. I couldn't quite have it. It wasn't coming together. Yep.
The optograph.
So, Ron, do you want to use this opportunity?
Things are going to start happening to me.
Do you want to use this opportunity, Ron, to explain to everyone what happened to Luke Cage?
No, I don't.
Did you watch Iron Fist season 2?
I am 2 episodes in. So
okay.
I will.
So it's your fault.
I will, with all transparency and clearance, state that I do not work with, all the TV stuff happens in LA. I am not privy to those conversations. I do not know why Iron Fist got canceled. I don't know why Luke Cage got canceled. I'm as bummed as anybody. You can ask. You look in the Slack chat at work. There's a very long string of me coming out to my team about being a Mike Coulter fan and just how damn handsome he is. So I don't know. But hey, tune into Runaway Season 2 on December 21st on Hulu.
I
don't know if people keep track of all this shit.
I don't get in trouble, but we had a long conversation at lunch today about the Netflix shows, and like the track record's not good creatively on the whole.
No, and they're too long, and what's good there is drowned in a bunch of other stuff. So there's like bits of good stuff, but they really thought they were going to get by, I think, just on having those people there.
Well, and not to play devil's advocate, and again, because I work for Marvel and they're my employer and that sort of thing, but the deal was 1 season each of those, and then Defenders. The fact that they got 2 seasons out of Iron Fist and 2 seasons out of Luke Cage and 3 seasons out of Daredevil, 2 seasons of Punisher. Punisher was never even on the original order. So
and the three Jessica Joneses, aren't they?
Yes, Jessica Jones is coming. I think so. I think that's that's what I heard. But that they're like the fact that they're doing this, like they got so much out of it. I think
it's all bonus.
Yeah,
it's all like it shouldn't be.
And honestly, the chat room's talking about the Meachums, which I mean, Iron Fist. I would watch a show just about Ward Meachum. I don't know what that.
Well, you'll enjoy season 2. He's got more to do. There's a lot less board meetings in season 2. But really, if you think about like which seasons were actually good, I mean, that you maybe have 3 or 4 out of all the seasons they've done.
Even that's debatable. I mean, like,
not really.
Do most people think that Luke Cage was good?
Daredevil season 1 and 2 were good, right?
Yeah, Jessica Jones 1 and
Defenders.
Punisher.
Did you like Punisher?
Punisher season 1 was terrific.
I thought Defenders was good. I enjoyed Defenders.
Right. It was Defenders got by on the cast hanging out together. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, again, I'm Mike Coulter. But I thoroughly enjoyed season 1 and 2 of Luke Cage.
I liked 1. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've only made it through a few of them. I think I made it through Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the first season of Daredevil.
Yeah.
And then I made it through a few episodes of Punisher, which wasn't bad. I just don't care. I made it through about 30 minutes of Iron Fist. And
season 1
maybe half of season 2 of Daredevil.
but season 2 is better. He's much better in season 2. But it's not worth watching. I mean, if you're not into it, it's not worth watching.
No.
Luke
Cage was great right up until the point that Method Man showed up, and then that soured everything after that. They couldn't beat that moment.
Well, I would love to watch season 3 of Daredevil, but I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Well, you don't actually have to do it immediately. That's where they get you.
I mean, dropping it in the beginning of new TV season is tough. But
but to a certain degree, you gotta. I mean, at what point? I mean, canceling a show on the day another show comes out is tough.
Yeah, that's true.
But well, I don't know. I think overall the experiment was a success, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so
in the future. You know, so
I mean, they'll always have that as they'll have somewhere to do that. Like, look, this works. We can make a short season, and really, out of all of the stuff that sort of really fit into what the comic book serial format is, that's I mean, that's the most true to form.
I still think and wish. I mean, I wish more than anything they had nipped the 13 episode thing in the bud early and just done 6s and 8s or whatever. You know what I mean? It's so funny because those of you listening in the chat room, I have a new podcast. It's called Finale. You can go to finalepodcast.com where you can subscribe to it. But it's where me and my lovely wife talk about TV shows. And we just recorded this past weekend, and we did a two-parter about a very popular American sitcom and its very popular British origin. Mm-hmm. And when I revealed how many seasons and episodes of the British version of the show was, she was aghast that there was that few. And I was like, yeah, that's how they do it. They do it in England.
Lindsay and I just watched through the whole British one like last month. And it is just to in comparison to the like looking at it now, however many years later, it is difficult. It is more difficult to watch than it ever was because you combine the excessive awkwardness of it and then like, wow, that is incredibly inappropriate, like all over the place.
Well, what's funny is that she had never seen any of it, and so we watched the Christmas special, which is the series finale, and then after we recorded and we're talking about it, she hates cringe, like she's never watched Arrested Development, like she doesn't like cringe comedy the way that we kind of appreciate that and that sort of thing. But I made her watch the customer service role play scene.
That whole episode was really difficult. And I've seen it a lot. And I was like, oh, God. It was so, like...
Not all complaints will be valid. It was so good.
Keith was the best thing in that show.
Oh, he was very good.
He was so good.
I still say the best. I mean, the best thing, and I'm not spoiling our own podcast, but my favorite thing of that show was just the shot of the copier. And just like the people working, like the mundane, just like the stillness of that whole thing. Like
I found like there's the bit about how David Brent explains every joke, and if you watch it, they do that from the beginning and they stick through it all the way.
Yeah,
and that really by the end it was killing me because you just wait for him to do it. He'd have to tell you what the joke was, and then the very last shot in the show is him doing that.
Yep.
Oh, it is just it is.
So good.
I guess I wasn't a corporate manager at that point, but I am now. And it was pretty rough. Has she watched Friday Night Lights?
No. Have you watched Friday Night Lights? No. It's on the list.
It's time, Ron.
No, it's not time.
It's absolutely time. Now that you're married, you can appreciate the best married couple who has ever been put to film. Connor?
Yap. He's
he's not gonna watch it or enjoy it out of spite. So there's no point.
That's the problem. It's turn the corner. It's just like I know someone in the chat room was talking about how great The Good Place is. Nope, I'm never gonna watch that show.
I watched two of them.
Too many people are talking about that. Nope, I'm out.
It's really good.
Friday Night Lights is past though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gone, but it's one of those like freaks and geeks things where like I'm like, oh, look at all the careers that popped up out of this.
Yeah.
Not all careers will be valid.
I will say we saw First Man yesterday, and there you had Kyle Chandler in the role the Kyle Chandler role. Like, he was Deke. Yeah, and
if Kyle Chandler is in a position that's not good though, because now he's
Coach Deke.
Yeah, he will never be equal to what he's done on that show, because no one will ever write for him that good again. This is the Jason Bateman issue.
Yeah.
Like, Jason Bateman is always Jason Bateman and everything, which he has said. I've heard interviews. He's like, I don't really act. I just try to be natural. And we're like, no shit, Jason.
I watched.
But that's what do you think every movie star does?
Yeah, look what happened to Pauly Shore.
Every movie star is themselves.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt.
Yes, he is. That's true.
Otherwise, they're a character actor. Stars are stars.
Well, I mean,
so this is the difference between Daniel Day-Lewis and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right? Daniel Day-Lewis becomes Christian Bale.
Yep.
By the way, saw the Vice trailer in the theater, and that looks amazing.
Here's my problem.
Sam Rockwell as W is brilliant.
Here's the problem is that it's such a liberals talking to liberals thing. And it's like a Michael Moore movie. It's not going to do any good now.
I'm fine with that.
I know, but I just feel like
but you also haven't seen it yet. You don't know that.
I know, but I know where Adam McKay is coming from.
Yeah.
Like the Bush administration radicalized him. Yeah. And he's only gotten more so since then. Adam McKay was the head writer on SNL who wrote all of the funny stuff for Will Ferrell. And now he's like, we have to do all the political stuff. And it's, I liked The Big Short. Don't get me wrong.
Big Short was great.
Yeah. That guy chewing gum.
The guy from Succession, which I still haven't watched yet. I want to watch that.
You haven't watched it at all?
No, I haven't. I don't have a lot of time, Connor.
Which show?
Succession. It's been on the list.
I think I watched 10 minutes of it.
Yeah. Is it worth watching, Connor? Connor, is it worth watching?
Yeah, I didn't quit it and walk away. I just was like, I don't have this in me right now.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
I still have to watch it, but I'm way behind on a bunch of HBO stuff.
So Titans thumbs up. How much is the damn DC universe? Am I going to pay for it? Am I going to get in trouble for paying for it? I don't know. I got to ask these questions.
No, that's deductible.
That's deductible. Yeah.
That's absolutely deductible.
It's not.
No, not anymore.
Nothing is deductible anymore.
Oh. How's Hollywood doing with that?
Everyone here is fucked. I was hanging out with a couple of TV writers, and they are screwed because they used to be able to deduct their representation payouts.
Okay.
So,
oh my god,
25% of their salary goes to their agent, manager, and etc. And that used to be the deductible expense, and now
so that counts as before. That counts as after taxes.
Yeah, because they get paid. Wow. They get paid by this. They get paid by whoever, and then they have to pay their people. Huh. It's not taken out of their check. They get paid their full amount.
Well, that's why everybody's incorporating themselves, right? Like
now they're all incorporated, so that's what everyone in Hollywood's doing. But even then, they're still going to get. They only get a fraction of what that was before. Everyone here is screwed. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nothing. I mean, all the streaming services used to be a write off, and nothing is anymore.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish Buried, Josh?
No. Please finish it.
I was with you in the first two episodes, and it was episode 3 or 4 where it turned the corner and it got really, really good.
I mean, it ended up a bunch of awards, right? I guess.
No. I mean, Henry Winkler won Best Supporting, and Hader won Best Actor. Like, it is
insane. By the way,
it is on my top best shows of 2018.
It turned the corner hard. It got really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Once they figured it out, it became less about I'm trying to be an actor, and it was. Really good.
I'm not. I haven't been able to be grabbed by anything new. I've been rewatching. I've been watching Disenchantment, the new Matt Groening show.
Okay.
Which I started watching, and I was like, oh, these jokes are all just like the same as Simpsons jokes were when they first came out forever ago. And I was like, this is old. And then 2 or 3 things made me laugh really hard. And I was like, okay, it's pretty funny.
Well, going back to how this is the fall TV season, Connor. We talked about this earlier in September. This is literally the first fall TV season since 1995, when I right around then when I started tracking fall TV seasons, that I don't have any new shows. There's not and the only show that has broken through that, and I'm talking about network. Like I'm not talking about streaming. I'm not, like all because that stuff doesn't apply to the fall, and it just happens to be on during fall. But the only show that anybody has said, "Oh, you should check out," or get in any sort of zeitgeist has been Manifest.
Well, it's because it's really bad, but I mean, I don't really use the zeitgeist. I just sort of I sample a bunch of them and then decide if I like them or not. But
no, I know. Well, no, but those are my two measures. Like my two measures.
Manifest was like insultingly bad.
Really? You see, that's
all I know is at some point, I think when Lindsay was watching the Emmys or whatever was the last one, like there were commercials on for new TV shows, and I was like, every one of these looks so blandly formulaic, like it's a parody of what network TV was, and I was shocked because I thought, so if they just doubled back on like, we're not going to try to be like cable, we're going to go full bad network, and that's what everything looked like. It was completely unmemorable. It was like hospital show, cop show.
Yep.
Really bland.
What the hospital show with Ryan Eggold?
That doesn't make sense. They've always been that way.
With that New Amsterdam show, I saw the trailer.
New Amsterdam's really good.
Yeah.
New Amsterdam's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, The Rookie was good. I like Magnum PI.
I don't know how you could like. I mean, like the reboot stuff. It doesn't. I don't know. I just think it's we're in a sorry state for TV right now.
No, the networks are, but
I got more TV.
It's been coming forever. We knew that.
Yeah.
They're flailing.
I said networks. I'm not talking. I mean, yeah, there's other great TV. I can't wait. I haven't started it yet, but I'm very excited to watch the Romanovs. I've heard good things.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, there's only one.
I think there's two out now. Yeah. I watched the first because I downloaded two of them and I watched through one of them. It's all in French, just so you're aware.
That's great.
The first one, no, it was really good, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was not happy about the anthology thing. But as I was watching it, I was just thinking this is actually very compelling and compelling in ways that I didn't expect. I think it's good.
It's getting really rough reviews.
Well,
but so did Mad Men.
I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, remember that first season of Mad Men? It did not get good reviews.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't. Did it?
Yes, it did.
Let's see, Mad Men.
What are you gonna do? Find?
Yeah.
What are you gonna look for? What comes after Mad Men? Mad Men reviews?
I don't know.
Mad Men season 1 reviews. Just a billion people who liked the Blu-rays they bought.
It's got to be out there. Mad Men television review. There we go.
This guy likes it. Okay, 1.
New York Times. See what it says.
The GDAP books are not open right now. You can't.
Although you could make a case for Henry Winkler. But we're not going to do that right now.
Oh, I think we have to right now.
The books are not open.
Oh,
you can't just go.
Because now I want Henry Winkler in. Oh man,
bring it up next.
I can't believe he never won an Emmy before.
His speech was great. He was just.
It was great.
Speaking of Mad Men and greatness, there's a New York Times caption video with John Hamm.
Okay.
Not New York Times, New Yorker. The New Yorker. Thank you. The New Yorker. They do these series of videos now where they have celebrities look at New Yorker cartoons and they have to write the captions. And John Hamm's it came out like 2 or 3 days ago. It's brilliant, of course.
He's funny. He is funny.
He's very funny.
He's legitimately funny.
I still think, going back to the Smiths, I still think that video with him and Chris Gethard for Rolling Stone talking about Morrissey was as unintentionally funny as you could ever arrive at. It was very good.
Is there a Zeitgeist show right now?
Nope.
Whoa. Are we all just waiting for Game of Thrones to come back?
Yep. I'm just one word, agreeable or disagreeable.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm just trying to figure. I don't think there's anything.
Now that
streaming has killed this. You can't really have. It's really hard to have a streaming Zeitgeist show.
I mean, the Walking Dead.
Not anymore. It's the worst.
Yeah, no, but like is that and Game of Thrones streaming stuff? You do get like when Orange is the New Black came out, that was a Zeitgeist show. That was everything everyone was walking about. Glow had that to a certain extent.
But the problem is that because of the season drop and the binge watch and stuff like that, it comes out and people talk about it for a week maybe, and then it's gone.
Actually, whatchamacallit, the Hulu one, Zoe Bartlett. Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, Handmaid's Tale. Yeah,
that was
season 1. No one talked about season 2.
In my office.
Season 1, it was everywhere. It was in every news publication. It was on every show.
Well, part of it is that it's a huge fucking bummer.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
I've been watching.
Did you see the link I put in the Slack, by the way,
Yes.
about the sexy Handmaid's Tale costumes?
Yes.
I've been watching The Man in the High Castle, and like it's less depressing than The Handmaid's Tale, which is really saying something.
I tried to watch. Man,
Yeah,
that show should have been like easy for me, but I watched like 3 episodes and I just couldn't do
I did
anymore.
the same, and I went back recently because I thought the same thing, and it was boring, but I was like, I really want to like it. It's like that Turn show. I'm gonna try to watch that again because I feel like if I don't watch it,
a season.
Yeah, Man in the High Castle. There's parts about it that are really good, and there's parts about it that aren't. The stuff
I just couldn't figure out the point.
Well, the problem is there's this stupid like supernatural-ish storyline going on in the background, and
the book is like that. I read the book.
I know, but I know, but like weird. It's the part that's not good. If they just were like, this is what it looks like when the Nazis are in charge of America in 1962.
That's like a no-brainer. Like, what does this alternate history look like?
So that the political intrigue with the Japanese, all that stuff's really good. The actual Man in the High Castle stuff is dumb, but the bit like the main Nazi guy, John Smith, that part is all really good and compelling, and he's awesome, and his wife's good, and the kid, the whole like that stuff is really good. The rest of it I can take or leave. I kind of fade out for the rest of it.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I think when I saw the ads for the original, I thought, wow, this is gonna be great.
I mean, there's bits of it. I know you have a billion things that you like to watch, but there's bits of it that are worth watching. And almost caught up now, so.
Ron, are you still watching Riverdale?
No. Well, I mean, if by watching Riverdale, am I downloading the episodes, intending to watch them at a later date? Yes. Have I watched any of season 2? No.
The thing I love about it is that it doesn't care.
I do like that. I do like that.
It gets as weird as it wants to get.
Yeah. I do like that aspect.
I've been watching The Toast of London. Does anyone know who Matt Berry is?
Of course.
No.
You know who Matt Berry is?
Yes, of course.
You don't know Toast of London?
No, I don't know Toast of London, but I know Matt Berry was in the IT Crowd.
Yes. Well, This is his show. It's on Netflix. And it was, it was like, I think there's 3 series of it. And it is the best fucking thing. And John Hamm has an amazing cameo in one episode of it.
He is very funny, Matt Berry.
No, he's
very good. He was in something where I'm like, hey, that's Matt Berry. What was that?
He was in Disenchantment. He did one of the voices.
He was in Christopher Robin.
Yes, he was.
He was. Did you see Christopher Robin?
Yes, he was.
Did you see
it? Yeah, of course.
Oh, Pooh. We were saying that for weeks after that movie.
That movie was, my kids didn't like it.
Oh,
it was too uneven.
Scary?
No, it wasn't scary. There was too much Ewan McGregor searching for you. Like it was too much of that, and they wanted more of the fucking bear.
Exactly. I wanted more of the bear too.
Yes.
Except that every time that bear opened his mouth, I was bawling. But
you need to, Ron. You need to watch Toast of London.
All right, I'll check it out. I'm adding it to the list.
It's that I know what that list looks like.
Yeah,
it's one of those things like Alex Robinson. He's like, you should watch that show, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And I started to, and right away I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Yeah. Like deeply, deeply brilliant.
It was fun. I got to explain to a whole new audience at work about the air suck reaction when you say that you haven't watched something, and the people respond with the and then how I used to engage in the argument and explain why I don't watch Doctor Who or don't read Harry Potter or don't watch The Wire or whatever it is. But now when they say that, they do the air suck, I go, okay, yeah, I'll add it to my list.
Yeah.
And then just
but you don't do it out of spite.
No. I just get out of the conversation.
No. You don't watch it out of spite.
Some things, not all things. Some things,
right.
Not all things. Some things I just thought literally like this is what people have a hard time understanding is that I understand the appeal of some TV shows to groups of people. I understand that they're probably very good TV shows. In fact, they are good. They're critically lauded. They win awards. People like them, whatever. I might not just have any interest. Like just because
I recognize that,
but you got to be interested in it.
Yes, but there is another area, which is the one when your two best friends who are somewhat accomplished in the area of criticism have said, I understand your reservation and you make sense, but in this instance, you should give it a shot. And then you go, no.
No.
And like it's the kind of thing like you're watching The Deuce now and you're enjoying it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And if you like the storytelling of The
one.
Deuce,
yes,
the fact that you're not that you haven't watched any of the David Simon shows is insane.
Yeah.
Because that is never about the thing. It isn't about crime. It's about characters and story all swirling around and then coming together in a way that it's Seinfeld. I mean, basically, it's dramatic Seinfeld.
But I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is fucked up Seinfeld.
No, that's good too.
Yeah,
I'm behind. I'm on.
That show is so good. That show is so good.
It's just I did it all in one really like concentrated burst, and then I was like, I'm good.
The new season has been great. The new season.
I didn't watch. I dropped off years ago, but I watched the Me Too one, and that was incredible.
My god, it was and you should watch the Escape the Room one where they do a room escape, and it's just they spend the whole time they only get one clue. Oh, it's great.
Every time I see that meme of Charlie Day with the board with the
we do that at work, Papa Sylvia. Yeah,
it's funny every time though.
That sequence, that whole sequence of Charlie and the board and the mailroom, and he's like, and I go down to HR and I go, Carol.
I'm still confused. Like I know Charlie Day like had kind of a breakout thing, but I don't understand why he didn't become the biggest star. Like he had a moment, and then he became comedy sidekick guy.
Yeah, I don't know why he was in it. Wasn't he in that movie with Jason Bateman? Wasn't he in the Horrible Bosses or whatever it is?
Yeah. First one was good. Didn't see the second one.
Yeah. I like how me and Connor scrambled to correct somebody in the chat room. I'm sorry, Alex.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. No, The Simpsons is the longest running sitcom on TV.
60 minutes.
He said show. He said series.
Yeah,
I know.
No, but it was funny because I was watching It's Always Sunny. My wife was watching; she didn't watch it, and she did not like it at all, and had a problem with Charlie Day's voice. I'm like, he's so great. I love Charlie.
My wife
Day.
says things like that. She's like, I just don't like what he sounds like.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Well, that sounds familiar. Like I didn't like the commish, therefore I'm never going to watch anything Michael Chiklis ever does again.
Yep, there you go.
I do understand. I kind of understand not liking a person. I do recognize, like, I don't ever tell.
Thing, though.
Shut. I don't tell Ron to watch cop shows because he doesn't like cop shows. Something about him rubs him wrong. It's a thing, and I'm fine with that. There are some exceptions, but whatever.
Here's the thing about Michael Chiklis. I watched the entire season of Gotham that he was on.
I hate you.
And that was not good television. Don't ask me why. I watched it all.
Josh is gonna have an aneurysm now.
Well, here's why. Here's why. And Connor knows why. Why do I watch Gotham?
Is it Donald Logue?
Donald Logue. Donald Logue.
We exchange birthday wishes on our birthdays because it's the same day.
You and Donald Logue?
Yep. On Facebook.
Does he respond to you?
Yeah.
Are you friends with Donald Logue on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
How? What?
Oh, you don't know?
I think he accepts everybody. Like, I don't think it's a thing.
But I thought didn't Tegan know him in LA?
Tegan like taught his son karate or something like that, but I don't believe there's no
at least
connection
there's
Hey, I didn't tell you guys.
Hey, I've got 13 mutual friends. I'm friending him.
Yeah, totally. He writes these long fucking things.
I'll sign up for Donald. I'll subscribe to Donald Logue.
Right. I went to see.
Wait a minute, Josh. You're not friends with him.
Maybe I got rid of him.
You're not one of the mutual friends.
I might have dropped it at some point. I purged.
Josh is making up stories again.
No, I did. I purged though. Like I got rid of everybody I didn't really know, for the most part, other than like a few people who I've been talking to for a long time.
And Donald Logue.
Well, I don't really know him.
I would have kept Donald Logue.
I know. I got rid of everybody. I was going through a thing. I went to see Whose Live Is It Anyway, which was a live show of people from Whose Line Is It Anyway, and it was going to be it was Greg Proops and Ryan Stiles, and I was going to see Ryan Stiles. That's why I went, because I believe he's very funny.
He's the best.
And then one other guy I didn't know, And then the other guy was the Murray brother who played Freddie Rumsen.
Oh, he's great. Oh, yeah.
I can't think of his name, but he was there. So we show up and we hear rumbling in the audience that Ryan Stiles isn't coming. And we're like, what the fuck? This is why I bought the tickets to go see this. I don't want to see Greg Proops this badly. And they said, we brought in a celebrity guest to make up for him, and like, whatever. And it was fucking Dave Foley.
Nice.
So it was Dave Foley, and he wasn't the funniest. The Murray brother was really fucking funny. And then the other guy,
all those
name
brothers
I don't
are really
know.
funny.
Yeah, no, but
funny.
it was great. But I was when Dave Foley was there, I was like, Ron would really like this because I feel like you really like Dave Foley, but I don't particularly know why I think that.
I'm a big Kids in the Hall fan.
Yeah,
I was a huge Kids in the Hall fan, and Dave Foley might be my favorite of the Kids in the Hall, purely for the sarcastic sketch. Where the guy has a speech impediment or everything sounds sarcastic. No, I really want to talk to you, right? Like, it was so good.
Ron, did you watch News Radio?
Of course, yeah, I watch News Radio.
Yeah, okay.
That's a really good show.
Yeah,
I think about that show more than I do other, like, that show pops up in my head every now and then, like an episode or a joke from.
Well, what's his face is in Barry? What's his name? Stephen Root.
Stephen Root's in everything.
Stephen Root's great. He's great in Barry. He's fantastic. You know who's great in Barry is the dude from Gotham.
I hate him. I actually don't like him in Barry.
Oh, I thought he had some moments that were great. They were very funny.
It can be a bit much. So we're reaching towards the end. We're going to set up another segment, but I need to tell you
towards
guys,
the end, the iFanboy story.
So we're going to do a thing that's going to happen, but I need to tell the guys something first.
Okay. Oh God!
Since I'm hosting the call, I am leaving this open.
Okay.
However, my connection.
I am
is
going
really
to
bad.
masturbate.
My connection's really bad, so I suggest one of you records with Audacity.
Yeah, good.
For the audio.
Audio hijack. Yeah. Okay. I'll do
it. Because otherwise you're going to get a really
that makes it easier anyway. Did you record that thing before this, by the way?
Yep.
We did. I'll mail it to you after. So we're wrapping up the Hangout, but as a special treat, if you want to hang out longer in the Hangout, Josh and Ron are going to record live a special edition podcast on fucking Venom. we said we weren't going to do it. We promised we weren't going to do it.
And we did it.
So they're going to do it. I'm going to go eat dinner.
Are you going now, or are you going to finish out the 8 minutes we have remaining on this?
I'm going to finish the 8 minutes out.
Okay.
Wait, did you start late?
We started at
5 minutes late because we had to.
Here's a question though, Connor. Is the Hangout just going to run while you're having dinner, or will you stop it?
I'm going to mute my microphone, and I'm going to.
Okay, good. All right.
Turn the camera.
Set your camera down, or are we going to get like cinema verite?
This is going to be weird.
Just gonna do that.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, Venom. If you want to watch, that's going to be a thing.
That happened.
Why did you decide to see it, Josh?
I was in San Francisco and I could. Basically, it was like I didn't want to go. There was a concert that night, and I was tired, and I had to be up at 5 a.m. So I just decided to go see a movie by myself, and I kind of wanted to see it. I was curious.
And I'll be honest with you. Everybody talking, I wasn't going to see it. And admittedly, it was discussed at work, and I got curious. I got Venom curious.
You're Venom curious.
And also, my wife was out of town, and I knew that there's no way she was coming with me to go see it. So I went to a brunch screening, and it was lovely. So
all right,
I'm just gonna make sure I can record. Oh geez,
you should just be able to set the input to whatever.
Yeah, I know. I gotta. It's weird. I'm getting looped back.
You'd have to do. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, hang on. I can figure it out. You guys talk.
We still have another 6 minutes.
Cool.
Can I just
Josh, there wasn't like another movie option available. Old Man and the Gun.
That was not an option, and my wife wants to see that, so I do want to try to see it with her. I'd seen A Star Is Born earlier in the week when I was there on Tuesday night. And I wasn't going to go to that. I was going to go to First Man, but I was too late. And it was one of those things which no one ever does anymore. I was like, well, what's playing right now? So I got the ticket and went in. No, I wanted to see it. I can't explain exactly why, but I don't know. Isn't that's weird though, right?
I'm proud of you that you did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You may discuss. I mean, you obviously you read those McFarlane Venom comics, so
there is that. I mean, I have a history with those characters to a certain extent, and I was curious how it was going to go because I thought, genuinely, I thought that's a very good cast. That's a very good cast. There's some excellent people in that movie, and I didn't think the trailers looked that horrible.
Interesting.
And I saw that everybody said they did, but I didn't see what they saw. It wasn't like, what did we watch when we did We did Aquaman. That looked fucking horrible.
Oh, that was fun when I made you watch those
Aquaman was terrific.
Yeah, well, you and I think different things sometimes.
I watched the second Aquaman trailer. I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough.
You know what my kids said tonight, by the way?
What?
So we bought a thing called Table Topics. And my son has some communication issues, so in order to get him talking about things, you do things like this.
That's fine.
So there's a little card, and you take them out, and so we're having dinner and we're talking, and we said, "What's your favorite movie?" And Oliver said Cars 3, which is ridiculous. He hasn't watched this since we saw it in the theater. And then he said his second choice, or what your two favorite movies? His second choice was San Andreas. And I just
were you beaming with pride?
I was, and I was like, "Would you like to go see the sequel with me in the theater?" And normally, when you say, "Do you want to go to the theater?" he automatically says no, and he said, "Yes, I do." And I said, wow. That's so great.
There's a sequel to San Andreas coming out?
I think so.
Oh,
I think there is. Isn't there?
If not, you just
I think they're making a sequel.
I'm almost sure of it.
Did you not see Skyscraper?
That one, Lindsay and I are gonna watch it, but that's more of a bad guy shooting thing. It's like Die Hard, and he won't want to watch that.
Yeah.
San Andreas 2.
Yeah, I think they're making.
It's in pre-production.
Yeah.
Well, everything's in pre-production.
For sure.
My Netflix show is in pre-production.
Yeah.
My thing with Skyscraper is they looked ridiculous. It's The Rock and stuff like that. But doesn't he not have a leg in it? And I'm like, why do that? Like that?
I guarantee someone's mad at him for that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
because there should be some legless Rock lookalike.
No, he did. Someone complained that they didn't hire someone with actual leg, and then they were like, "Hey, they want to get the movie made."
He's The Rock.
Right, so,
well, I did see. I can maybe get them to watch Rampage, which was also great. Is that this year? Do we get to talk about it on the end of year show?
Yes,
it is. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna step out. You guys are all set to talk about Venom. Is that happening?
Yeah, I'm all set. I got it working. So,
all right. Well, just text me.
Well, before you step away, what's for dinner? What's for dinner?
Oh, just leftovers. But I literally haven't eaten anything. It's 7 o'clock in LA.
What are the leftovers?
I made a soup the other day. We're gonna have some soup.
What kind of soup?
Chicken soup.
Oh, just straight up chicken soup.
Yeah, it's good.
Do we have 2 minutes? We can talk about chili. Where are you, Connor? Obviously, I know you're a chili. You like chili. You must like chili.
Sure.
You're enough of a Texan. And then Ron, I'm guessing you don't have much chili.
I am anti-chili.
Just full on anti-chili.
Fully
not
anti-chili.
Just for you, but for others.
Why would you?
I have not.
Why would you be anti-chili? Everything.
He doesn't like spicy food at all.
No, I'm coming around on spicy food. I just don't like. I don't like chili. I'm not a big beans person.
Well, that's optional.
No, I know,
but beans and chili.
But often a lot of chili has beans. I've just never been anything on like chili, messy, sloppy Joe, like all that kind of stuff. I'm always been like, nope. Like I don't like chili dogs.
What?
It's a little too middle America for me.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
All right.
That's why we're losing elections. That fucking attitude.
I'm going to.
My chili's good.
All right, go enjoy your dinner. Connor's on mute. All right, shall we?
I literally made a chili dog tonight for the first time in my life because I was like, maybe I should just try this. It wasn't great.
Oh, okay.
A hot dog's just better on its own, and then chili on its own.
Are you prepared to lead this show? Because you have to.
I told you I couldn't do this.
You just have to do the intros. That's it. Just do the short opens and the intros, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. Hang on.
How does he do it? I never do these.
So it's you're listening to an iFanboy special edition, Venom. All right.
Okay, I gotta say it and then also feel like I'm completely disinterested when I do it.
No. You got to be. It's like dramatic. It's a dramatic reading. Okay, ready? I'm gonna count you in. Everyone, we're behind the curtain here, audience. This is a live.
Are you recording? I haven't set anything up.
I'm recording. You're all set. We're good.
Okay.
All right. In 3, 2.
You're listening to iFanboy Special Edition, Venom.
That was great. All right. Hang on. I got to pull up the IMDb. Venom, IMDb. Not Venmo.
I got to get Venmo so I can give money to people when I'm in San Francisco.
Yes, you do.
They're all like, you have Venmo? I was like,
welcome to 2015, my friend.
I know, but it's not, doesn't happen.
Okay.
Can't we just use the Apple thing?
No one sucks.
They all have the phones.
Anyway, all right. All right. So you just do the standard open, the regular show, you know, all right?
I know.
In 3, 2, by the way, this is only going to be like 10, 15 minutes tops, right?
Yeah, it's short.
It's weird when I can see you because I can see you get annoyed at me.
They are going to be so disappointed by what's about to happen. Can you tell? Have you been looking at the chat? They think they're going to get one thing, and they're not going to get it. They think they have a big bowl of Middle American chili, but it's fucking ramen, and they don't know.
And we love ramen. All right.
I love both.
In 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome to an iFanboy Special Edition on Venom. You said, will it happen? And we said, no, it will not happen. But it's happening right now. I'm Josh Flanagan. I'm here with Ron Richards.
Hello, Josh. Enough people complained that you had to pull me into the fire.
I had nothing to do with this. I said, hey, I saw it. And you were like, let's talk about it.
Well, because here's the deal is that I saw it too. And I saw the people on the social media and on the other things going, hey, iFanboy, when are you going to do Venom? And I saw the staunch iFanboy response of, no, we're not doing Venom. No, we're not. And I was like, I saw it. And then you saw it. I didn't think you'd see it. And here we are talking about Venom. Quick disclaimer, I am employed by Marvel Entertainment, but I have nothing to do with the movies, nor does Marvel Entertainment have anything to do with this movie because it was produced by Sony. So I've got some distance here, and I'm only talking about my opinions.
You do know Todd McFarlane, though.
I do know Todd McFarlane, but not through Marvel. Yeah, anything I say here is my own opinion and doesn't reflect Marvel or Disney or any other thing like that. So
great.
All right, so Venom. Let's
start with
stage.
Your thoughts beforehand going in. Had you had any excitement about it? Did you think it was going to be dog shit? Where did you stand before there was a film?
The trailer came out and I saw the trailer and I kind of that low guttural giggle and it was like, oh, this is either going to be like Punisher Warzone bad or who knows, it might be pretty good. That's kind of where I was. I was somewhere. Right. I was like, it's either going to be so awful it'll be good, or maybe they might pull out an interesting movie out of it. What about you? Where were you at?
I saw it, and I also saw like all of the like a lot of backlash, and I thought it wasn't based on very much. It was like the backlash seemed to be based on the idea of it being Venom rather than what was on screen, because people were like, oh, that looks terrible. And I was like, it looks like all the other Marvel movies, pretty much.
Yeah,
like I didn't see a lot in the trailer.
We'll get into that about the look of it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I didn't particularly watch the trailer, so it looks like garbage. I thought at the worst it's going to be kind of boring, a Doctor Strange level kind of thing. That's what I kind of thought. And then the other side of me, for some reason, I was a little bit intrigued because a couple of reasons. One, that's a good cast; those are good actors in that movie.
Well, let's cover the credits. It was directed by Ruben Fleischer.
I have no idea who that is.
Zombieland.
That was a good movie.
That was a great movie.
Yes.
He also did Gangster. Well, he didn't. He produced that. Where did he direct? He directed a bunch of episodes. He's been doing a lot of TV. He directed Superstore, the Santa Clarita Diet. Gangster Squad was his last movie. It looks like. But he did Zombieland, which was great. So, and it was written by Jeff Pinker, Scott Rosenberg, and Kelly Marcel. All whom, well, look at this. Hold the presses. Scott Rosenberg wrote Con Air and Gone in 60 Seconds. All right. So
I don't think his final draft made it through.
You never know. Jeff Pinker wrote the Dark Tower movie that came out a while ago, but he also wrote The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Kelly Marcel, she wrote 50 Shades of Grey, Saving Mr. Banks. So like you got some
good credits.
those are some credits.
I was just talking about the cast.
No, I know. So a cast. So starring as Eddie Brock is Tom Hardy, who is an iFanboy favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Michelle Williams. You got Riz Ahmed, who was in Rogue One. You got Jenny Slate. Yeah. So good cast. Good cast.
Yeah, and I wasn't really planning on seeing it or not seeing it, but I hadn't sort of written it off. Like, I'm not ever going to see that. And as it came up, I found myself on a business trip, and I thought, let's go see it. And then the other side of it had been that everybody said they didn't like it, but it made a shit ton of money, and I thought that's curious. What's happening?
Made so much so listeners, Connor and myself and some of our friends are in a little fantasy movie league, and so every week we're looking at the box office numbers and how stuff do. And I'm pretty sure I didn't pick Venom that weekend, and I was cursing up a storm because like I had predicted it was going to do 60, maybe 65, and it did like over 80.
Yeah,
crazy.
So I just was like, I had time, and I went and I saw it sort of with an open mind, because what I was seeing come in, like none of the facts seemed to jive with each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't a Deadpool situation where, when they announced a Deadpool movie, I don't like Deadpool, because Deadpool and Venom were neck and neck for a while in terms of comic book properties that people were not interested in. And everyone forgets this now. Deadpool was an eye roller for a large portion of the comic book literati, and now they've all forgotten about that shit. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be that, but I thought, it might not be as bad. And also, that Venom comes from for me, my era of when I was really starting to read comics. It's a very important time for me, and I thought, well, that'll be interesting to see. And also, finally, I don't really love Venom now, whatever it is, but I will never get over that sort of early Todd McFarlane, David Michelini stuff where Eddie Brock he was really interesting. He wasn't really a good guy or a bad guy. It was hard to tell where he was coming from, and like the symbiote had the thing with Peter Parker prior to there was interesting stuff about that, I thought.
Yeah.
And they beat it into the ground in comics, but there was something cool there. So I thought, let's see what this is like. And that's where
all right. So yeah, and I went to go see it by myself at noon on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. That sounds nice. That's a nice little Sunday.
It was lovely. I got French toast in the movie theater. It was great. Well, Alamo had a lovely brunch menu. But so what did you think of it coming out of it?
I thought that it was fine. I was like, well, that wasn't a piece of shit. I thought there was some nice sequences. I thought that if I was a Venom fan, like a full-on Venom fan, I'd be like, all right.
And here's the thing. We underestimate the Venom fandom, but Venom fandom is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
We used to joke about New York Comic Con like 10 years ago about how you get a lot of, like non-diehards at the show in New York. And the joke I always made is it's Vinny from Queens in a Venom hockey jersey.
Yes.
Right. But the thing is that Venom is a strong fan base, and you're still going. So I'm not surprised that they all came out for this movie, because it's also like a aggressive dude, like he's like Spider-Man, but he eats brains and like that sort of thing, But
but having Tom Hardy play that role gives it another thing. If it had, I'm trying to think of an actor who's doing the thing you were just talking about, but Tom Hardy's not that actor. Tom Hardy is not Nickelback.
Agreed. And that's the thing that got me to go see this, is because first off, Michelle Williams, it's like, oh, that's interesting, casting. Right. Like I'm a big Michelle Williams fan, and I thought that was, definitely interesting. But the Tom Hardy in the casting is like, Tom Hardy's great, and it's great to see him in a role where he doesn't cover his mouth. But I heard over and over everyone saying, yeah, he's doing a really interesting thing in Venom. It's kind of like a Jim Carrey thing or whatever. And I don't know what the hell those people were saying.
I haven't seen that, but I didn't see that. Yeah.
That was just weird. But so that said, I saw the movie. I came out of it, and I believe I texted you and Connor, I just saw Venom. Didn't hate it.
Yes.
Right. Like that's the thing. Like this is actually pretty decent. It's pretty good. And I heard a lot of people saying, like a good friend of mine compared it and said, oh, it's like a great cheesy late 90s comic book movie. I don't agree with that either. I think that it feels more, if you're going to date it, it definitely feels mid 2000s,
but with better effects.
Yeah, with better effects, of course. Not talking about the effects, but the story, kind of the story structure and all this sort of stuff. Because they really, they did a departure from the comics origins. And that's my two complaints about the movie. One is that I wish there was some tie back to Spider-Man, but I know better. I know, we know that they couldn't, and it'd be weird and it'd be hard. And
I was curious about how that would go, and I think that again, if we're talking like in this, if they're going the spirit of the character, whatever that means, like I was like, this all seems right. Although if you're going to take Spider-Man out of it.
Someone did tell me today, actually, that in the beginning when they're John Jameson is mentioned in the beginning. So there's your tie, and so that's fine.
Yeah, so there's that.
But in terms of the concept and the whole approach to it, it was pretty. They made it its own thing, and it was a believable thing. And I did it. My only other complaint was that I compliment and a complaint. I thought the effects were actually like when he was Venom, he looked like Venom from the comics.
It was a really good visual translation of the comic book without really getting very far away from it.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, that's what he looks like.
My only complaint was I really didn't like the transition where the Venom mouth went up over his face. Like whenever you mix the CGI with a human body, it always looks weird, and like that never really looked natural or looked good to me. But no, this really surprised me. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
That's gone up since you started talking.
It has.
I'm not gonna go so far as to be like I really enjoyed it, but I had fun. It moved the whole time. I wasn't like, it was pretty short, so I wasn't like, this is dragging on forever. I think Tom Hardy has in anything, like he's weird. He's got a weird energy. He talks weird. He's got a weird sense of timing and all that. And I thought that worked because Eddie Brock is
weird,
strange, but he wasn't menacing the way that they turned Eddie Brock into in the comics. But there was an edge to him. So like that,
the jealousy aspect of Eddie Brock wasn't here.
Yes. Well, there was though, because
there was a redemption arc, but there wasn't a jealousy arc.
Yeah, but he was also like, he had an ego.
Right.
There was a real ego hubris thing going on with him for sure. And I think that fit. And then I thought they skirted the line pretty nicely of not really making him a bad guy because he's got to carry a movie. So he didn't just eat brains of everybody. Right. It was there, but it wasn't like, it wouldn't have worked. The comic book version wouldn't have worked because he would have just been a killer, and that doesn't work.
The talking between Venom and Eddie Brock started out weird, and by the end of it was real. It was like it worked. They made
it was necessary.
It was necessary.
It would not have worked otherwise.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it ever happened in comics. I'm sure maybe in some way, but like when Venom gets a crush on Michelle Williams, like I was like, okay, all this gels together. Like I kind of get it, and also that fits with the symbiote thing. Like I think that worked. What I think didn't work was I don't think the movie was particularly. There were bits of it that were funny, but it was broad funny, and it wasn't like the script was not very clever. And there were places where it was trying to be clever, and it wasn't. Like it just it was sort of lowbrow, I guess. But at the end of it, I was kind of like, I see why a lot of people went to see that and liked it.
Yeah.
And not in a condescending way. I don't mean that. I just felt it was very red meat in sort of like you want a superpower thing with this character who you recognize. And, lots of people recognize Venom and the iconography and everything, but have probably never read a Venom comic book. So to them, they're like, fucking, yeah, that's great.
And it was interesting to see them do Venom without the spider logo. Like I feel like they made Venom stand on his own, which is what you had to do in this, right? And so maybe it puts the character in a better position for the inevitable Spider-Man crossover or whatever happens, or who knows what happens, like if they're gonna cross paths or whatnot. But who knows? And then we had the borrowing a page from the MCU, but there was a end credit sequence where Woody Harrelson appears as Cletus Kasady. Which is everybody knows as Carnage. So
it's fine. Like even if they never make another movie, that's interesting. Although that kind of box office, they're definitely making that movie. And I mean, like it wasn't great, but it was not garbage. Like it wasn't I didn't feel like
everyone was lining up waiting for this to be awful, and it wasn't. And
No.
I applaud them for that, because it was, they took something that could have been the punchline of a joke and actually made a good movie out of it. Made a movie, like, again, that wasn't awful. But,
I feel like it was a very workmanlike movie.
Yeah.
Like, it checked a lot of boxes. It did what it was supposed to. It was not a thing of beauty. It was not transcendent. I was not like, wow, that was the thing. It surprised me only in contrast to being told by everybody that it was garbage. But I was like, I don't know that I see that. And I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I've like, I don't watch a lot of this stuff. I don't watch every movie that comes out. I have pretty good instincts. And that's the other thing. I trust my instincts. Like, when I Suicide Squad, I saw that trailer and I was like, no. Then I saw the trailer for this and I was like, I don't know. I'm not getting a horrible vibe off it. And like, it was enjoyable. Like,
yeah. There we go. All right. Well, so Venom, it's still in theaters. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. We say give it a try. Give it a shot.
It'll be on HBO before the show's probably done. So
no, it's still looking a couple weeks.
No.
So. All right. Well, Josh, take us away.
So that will do it for the show. If you want to comment on the show, go to iFanboy.com. There you will find not just the entry for this show, where you can either agree, and it's okay to agree. You can say, you know what, I liked it too, and I want to thank you for giving me a forum to finally speak out without my other friends making fun of me. Or you can vociferously disagree. We certainly have had our fair share of that. However, it isn't like Superman, where we gave it like an okay review because we wanted to like it, because we watched it. It's been a few days. We've had time to think about it.
Actually, before we wrap up, I forgot the key aspect of this.
Ratings.
Ratings. I've been so out of it. Ratings. Josh, ratings for Venom. Ratings.
3.25.
Okay. I'm going to give it a solid 3.5.
Okay.
Yep. And what bridges the gap for me from a 3.25 was Michelle Williams and the Lady Venom moment.
That should have been dumb, but it was pretty good.
Yep.
You know what? I'm sorry, but we're going to go back into it slightly. Good choices were made on the part of her character, because she didn't do the really stereotypical thing that the girlfriend in distress does.
Yep.
She did a lot of things that I think were unexpected and that were a better choice than would have been made in a lot more standard movies. Her taking the Venom costume and being in it, and then being kind of like, I kind of like it. And like all that, like that kind of worked.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
Fair enough. iFanboy.com. Comment on this show. You can look at all the other special edition podcasts we've done. They are there. Every movie that we've ever reviewed, which is most comic book movies, are somewhere in that big list of things. You can follow us at iFanboy on Twitter, or Facebook.com/iFanboy, of course, at RonXO on Twitter, and at Jay Flanagan on Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the same as well. And I believe that will do. This was fun, Ron. We haven't done this in forever.
It was good. I'm glad we did this. I was worth twisting your arm.
Yeah. I was putting up such a fight. The part where you thought I was not answering is because I was on a plane for 6 hours, but that's fine.
That explains it.
Yes.
All right. And you just watched a live podcast get recorded, everyone. Congratulations.
I had to not mention that there was a chat room a couple times because I wanted to, and then I was like, this isn't that show.
Yep. All right, I'm texting Connor. So while we're waiting for Connor, everyone can listen to us talk. So Josh, at the Guided by Voices show the other night, you would have, there was a dude behind me. They start playing the first song that he recognized. He whips out a lighter. And I was like,
that's old school.
No, it's not.
We're not okay with that.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool. And so many people with the flashes on the cameras. It was a rough time, but it was worth it.
Was there were you able to enjoy the bits? Was there talking by people who didn't know how to behave? Because I find that the aging hipster 40 to 50-year-old concert scene is a pretty good one usually.
No, that was the thing, is that these guys were younger, and during the songs they didn't know they were talking, which unfortunately at the Guided by Voices show they played 53 songs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Did they play? Are those songs particularly short?
Yes. Well, half of them are very short, like minute 30, whatever. Like
Husker Du kind of.
Yeah. Like the
53 songs.
53 songs.
Who was back there like doing the setlist.fm thing?
That's what I'm looking at right now. There are 53 songs. It was amazing. So
whoever did it at Death Cab got it completely wrong.
Yeah, that's the worst. So anyway, it was, but I definitely I zenned it out and I enjoyed the show despite that. So
I had to do that recently.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, you can shut it off.
You guys can talk about your music stuff later.
All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back next month.